Hello, I'm Matt Guff from House.com, and this is a Capita 2020 board called the Navigator. The Navigator is a big mountain backcountry POW board designed for riding really deep snow and being able to kind of handle big mountain conditions for intermediate to advanced level riders. The Navigator is a directional style board that has a slight taper in the tail. The nose is going to be 8 millimeters to 13 millimeters wider than what you'll find in the back end, which helps this board stay afloat in really deep snow. There's a setback stance of 1 full inch, so when you ride this deck, you tend to be a little bit more tail heavy than nose heavy. It features a wonderful profile shape called Alpine V4. Now, Alpine V4 is one of many profile shapes that Capita has with kind of like the base profile of their boards. The Navigator has a nice gradual sweeping style nose past the insert packs on the lateral side on the front foot, but basically underneath the front foot all the way to the tail, the board's gonna be flat. This is nice for riding deep and steep stuff because it doesn't have the reverse contour of a camber board. It's not too loose like a continuous rocker style board. It's kind of a combination of both, of a stable flat section and a rocker zone in the nose to keep you afloat. And with that more narrow style tail, it's gonna sink down in the back end and then stay afloat on the front end, which is pretty cool. But this is a little bit stiffer than your average style deck. It has a feel and flex rating of a 6, and I feel that to be true. There's a dual style wood core of both poplar and beech style woods with a fairly normal biax fiberglass weave that runs at 0 and at 90 degrees. The nice thing about the Navigator having that is that it really does feel kind of surfy at times because of the biax glass. It's a little bit more pliable torsionally, but it still has kind of like a sturdiness to it overall. So when you're at high speeds, you're not gonna wash out. It's not gonna become too flimsy and wobbly. The nose section, or basically like the front half of the board, is gonna seem actually kind of rigid. And that's because of two 30 millimeter wide carbon fiber beams that run from the center of the board, basically parallel down each edge to the noses, like all the way to the tips, not just to the contact point, all the way to the tips. So it kind of gives you that like a firmness. One thing that a lot of big mountain boards kind of fail to do is keep a nose structurally sound, because sometimes when you ride in those kind of big mountain applications, when you're traveling at high speeds, if there's a longer nose that happens to be rocker, sometimes it can just get kind of like wobbly. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about buying boards. The Navigator has a very sturdy nose, which is definitely a thumbs up. The base was actually upgraded this year. It's called the Quantum Drive base. It's extremely fast. You need to keep it waxed up throughout the season, so it'll ride fast. It does feature a good amount of structure to it that you can hear. And then of course there's gonna be a 360 wrap standard steel edge, but it has what I believe Capita calls a parabolic style side cut radius, which is kind of a variable side cut radius. There's this larger side cut radiuses on both the nose and the tail, with a smaller side cut radius in between your feet, which allows the board, depending on how you are riding it, to be slightly tilted and do big sweeping turns. But when you really want to make a dynamic turn and engage the smaller side cut radius in between the feet, you can really pop this thing back and forth really quick. This is a great deck for big mountain applications. It's got a sturdy nose, fairly stiff style flex, but it's still pliable at the same time with a nice kind of like construction layup and construction materials. This is the 2020 Capita Navigator, a great deck that you can check out at thehouse.com. Make sure to see it, and hopefully I'll see you guys on snow. Peace. Thanks so much for watching. That is Capita. Capita is a great brand. They do some wonderful things. You can check them all out by selecting the links below in the description. Leave a comment or question. Let me know what you think of the Capita boards that we have here at thehouse.com. Remember to subscribe to the channel there. Check out more videos here. And of course, hopefully, I'll see you guys on snow. Peace.